Hi, and welcome to Come a Coffee Club. I'm Valerie, and I'm here with my wonderful co-hosts, Lene and Michelle. And today we're going to be talking about misinterpreting manifesting. But first, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook and on Instagram and TikTok, and look for us there. And also look for our books at the Neville Goddard summit.com/store. And you can find our published material there. So misinterpreting manifesting, what the reason we're picking that particular topic this week is that I've been noticing that over the last months and weeks that more and more people, that manifesting has become a thing. And the question is, what kind of a thing? Is it a thing people really understand? Or is it simply another buzzword that ends up somewhere on Urban Dictionary? We really want to hone in on when people pick up on the term, you can think that you're manifesting, because in truth, we're always manifesting. But when we're coming down to the genuine, authentic practice of manifesting, that's another story altogether. And that's, of course, what we've been devoting a lot, really the reason for being behind To Come a Coffee Club is presenting genuine, Neville Goddard based manifesting techniques and people living from that, in terms of the things we talk about and the techniques we talk about and share, and the guests that we have on, whether they're professional teachers and coaches, or whether they're people who really got what it was about and have seen the results and have been experiencing wins all the time. So one of the things I really have began noticing is on Clubhouse, for instance, which has become an increasingly popular platform, that there are a lot of people who talk about either law of attraction or manifesting. Like, what are you working on manifesting? And it makes it sound like a project, rather than a state of consciousness, a state of being, that your actions and thoughts and emotions and how you feel, embodying the state of what it is that you want, really come from that. And this is the kind of thing I'm seeing. Now, I just want to also say, and then I'm going to turn over to, my wonderful cohorts here, is because I've been a yoga teacher for 20 years, and in the yoga world even longer than that, it really kind of amused me in a way when a well-known yoga teacher who's leading a retreat, and it was something like manifesting your yoga. And when I saw it, I said, there's something that's being trying to mesh it together, but it's really kind of something else, right? Because as we know, when you practice yoga, yes, you want to manifest a wonderful experience on your mat, in your class, in your session with your teacher. You want a lot of things like that happening. So that is something you can set an intention for, or set a state of being. Sure. But they're talking about more than that, that maybe somehow by the experience of the tree, you'll begin to see what can manifest in your life. And it's really kind of trying to take apples and oranges and get pears. It's kind of, people are sort of they're hearing about this, but it's not really, is it really coming together the way they think it's supposed to come together as they understand it? And one more thing while I think of it, because I mentioned this to Michelle recently, was about the even no less a spiritual figure than Eckhart Tolle, who is the power of now, is talking about manifesting. He's got a new program about manifesting, conscious manifesting, excuse me. And I'm not saying that lightly or to be derogatory or make fun of him, but even he has gotten on the bandwagon to expressly mention manifesting, because he was never coming from that position before. But he's talking about how you need that consciousness of being happy, of that inner happiness, before you can really properly manifest anything. So there's a big pot going on here, and people are like, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, full of things, but not all of the things, you know, it's like, is it the monkeys with typewriters syndrome? You know, if you put 100 monkeys in a room and you give them typewriters and enough paper, they'll type all of Shakespeare. So it's like, you know, what are we really looking at? So I just want to, you know, this was a little bit of a preamble, but I really wanted to get the whole premise of our episode today as clear as based on what I've been seeing around. So over to you, whoever wants to pick up on that, my lovelies.
I was waiting patiently for Lene to go.
Yeah, I can say that. Well, you mentioned Eckhart Tolle, and I had read the book and everything, and really had the present moment ingrained into me, because coming from, like, especially like having PTSD, becoming present was so important to me, because it allowed me to realize that it was just thoughts that I was seeing and observing versus experiencing that again and again and again, those triggers, right? So it is really helpful. And then I know that he took away the emphasis on even creating a future for yourself, because it's all about the present moment. So now I am liking what he's doing with bridging that out into creating what you want, you know, stepping into the experiences that you want. And of course, acknowledging that you're always in the present moment. And it's just like when people say, oh, I'm trying to manifest this, or like they look at manifesting like in little boxes, like, oh, I manifested this. Well, no, you manifested all the other stuff too. It's same thing with present moment is, oh, I'm becoming very present with myself. I'm always living in the present moment, or my intention is to live in the present moment. And it's like, well, you are also always doing that too. You're always in the present moment. You're always manifesting. So like, there's no try. I'm going to try to stay present. I'm going to try to manifest. I already am. And then when you think about living in the end, it's very obvious that you're already doing that. But what end are you living in? Are you living in the end of, I'm on my way to this goal, I'm manifesting this thing? Is that your end? You're always trying to get the thing? Bring it back to present moment. I already have. It's already here. And of course,
right. When he wrote The Power of Now, I mean, that was really, that's be still and know you are God. Mm-hmm. and getting people to, and showing people how that could be, you know. So that's the first thing right there. You're the operating power. But it's, you know, what is the state? You know, we look at all of these different things, like in 20's Dream Driven Day. You know, you're not coming from desperation. You're not coming from depression. You're not coming from all these other things, or dread or doubt, or it's not those things that drive you. You want to be coming from that end. Now, the key thing, of course, is, yes, we are manifesting all the time. And this is always the kicker, right? That when any of us, you know, you explain that to somebody and they go, really? You know, because you know, all the crap, all the trash stuff, it's all manifests.
Yeah.
right? But it's when you start showing them, if they're trying to make changes, then then suddenly it's like, oh, now what do I do? So it's they don't realize it's actually not that difficult to understand that, but that's what blocks people. So I can see why Toll would want to transition into this, because he's seeing what's going on and how people are misinterpreting or misusing what manifesting is about.
Right.
So it's a very, and so when you find it in places like that, in the way it's used in yoga or on social media. And I mean, I know it's intended to be like, you're coming from a good place. It's like almost like saying, what's your affirmation today? Or, or what's your vision board? What's on your vision board? Is it going to be another one of those tools like that one of those secondary cause things? Because you can look at a lot of things like that are technically manifesting and treat them like secondary cause.
Mm-hmm.
So Michelle, any input on your side? Anything you want to add?
Misinterpreting manifesting always takes me back to when I was practicing the law of attraction before I found Neville and the law of assumption, and the misinterpretations out there are based on attracting something in rather than it's already within you to come out, because that's what it's doing. Is it's within you, it's in your imagination, and it's got to come out into the manifest into the physical. That's whereas the law of attraction is it's already outside in the physical and you've got to attract it to you. And misinterpreting manifestation gets people a lot of money. Like you would pay for a course and they guarantee that they've got the secret to manifesting your dream life. And Sarah Prout was one that I fell for when I didn't know any better. And how it was lured in was she showed this little flat that she used to live in, and then this $1 million mansion picture that she now has, all because she followed this 5 times 55 rule, for example, and she writes the same manifestation in a sentence 55 times 5 days a week. Like, remember the paperwork I showed you that I did on that?
Yes.
And how utter bullshit that is. Now that's misinterpreting manifesting. I'm sorry, Sarah Prout, you'll probably never know I've said this, but it's absolute based on bullshit foundation. The reason why she gets money is because people fall for this crap all the time. And to me, that's misinterpreting manifestation. It shows actually how desperate people are to want something so bad. Now, the other misinterpretation is that all of these people give you something because you've got to work at it. You have to do something to get it. So you have to sit in silence, you have to light a candle, you have to have no interruptions, and you have to write and focus on this sentence and write it stupid amount of times, and you have to do it at the same time every night, otherwise it won't work. And so then you're putting a surmountable amount of pressure on yourself. Oh my God, I've got to get this right. And if it doesn't materialize, you believe it's because you've misinterpreted what they've told you to do. And actually, what you've misinterpreted is that the whole thing is a load of shit, and that it actually just comes from within your imagination. And actually, it will already manifest if it's meant to, because you've imagined it so. But when you're putting pressure and desperation on top of that wish, it's not going to happen. It's not going to materialize, full stop. And so I think people really, you have high-end influencers that encourage you to lose your money with them, spend your money with them, but in fact it's that what's getting them the mansion. Because what I learned nothing. I learned a lot that wasn't the right way, and that wasn't the way, and it's a huge lesson now, and I can laugh at it now. But for me, that was the misinterpretation before it really fell into place with Neville.
Well, that's right. Yeah, go ahead.
I think at the same time, a lot of, and this is very consistent with everybody that I've talked to that ends up where, realizing who, I'm the operant power of my reality, not me, of your reality. You know what I mean? I control nothing in yours, okay? But
your mind.
Just want to, yeah, I don't want somebody to take it out of context there, okay? But anyways, but it's kind of like and Abraham Hicks talks about this. You know what you want because you know what you don't want, right? It's like a stick. You're either on one end of the stick. And I think what happens is when you discover your power, or you come across this oh, I can actually have my dream life and be conscious about it. You run into all the things that remind you of what you don't want. Well, what do I not want? I don't want to have to fucking write something for 5 days.
Exactly.
That feel right with me. So moving on to the next. And then of course I come across candles, lighting them on 11/11 at 11:11 a.m. or p.m. or whatever the hell. And I mean, the pressure I put on myself to get over there and light that damn candle and hope that it lights right then at 11:11, or I done fucked up. The pressure there, I realized, well, I don't like that either. So as I moved from thing to thing to thing, overlooking who was actually doing it, right? I discovered a lot of what I don't want. And it actually now makes it easier for me because I'm able to say, well, I don't need to do that. Now, do I enjoy journaling to kind of get my feelings out and look at them and be like, what's going on with me? Oh, okay, I see what state I'm in. Yes, I enjoy that, but I'm not going to go, Valerie, you got to write this in your journal.
No,
I acknowledge you have your
own
way of doing it.
Right. But it can help you get clear, because if you find that you fall, say a person, you or whoever finds they're in a shit state by journaling, and they start to seriously look at the garbage coming out, then they'll know that it's time to get still and shift states.
Right.
You'll start to see that, or how that bounces back to you. So, yeah. So, so what we're talking for the benefit of those in the audience who are not that familiar with some of these techniques, and we're talking about things like, lighting candles at particular times, or the sauerkraut situation of the 555, that kind of thing, all of those things that are mechanistic or that are dependent upon certain tools like that, that means you're giving your power outward away into a secondary cause.
That's right.
So this is key for people to to understand. So Matt, so when we talk about I'm manifesting, I'm working on manifesting 6 new clients for my coaching business or my real estate business by the end of next week or something, but that's just kind of, you're just saying, okay, I get up in the morning and I set my intention and then I go and do it. That's not the same as coming from the end or embodying the state wealth creator or successful realtor or developer or coach, you know, right?
Mark
So
Dockery said only during a full moon while Mercury is in retrograde.
of course.
Oliver
That's right.
said that he's looking into any religion that does dances naked in the woods. Now, Oliver, you need to come to England and I will take you on Dartmoor and we will dance.
Oh, is that Olivier? Oh, Olivier. So
Olivier.
Olivier, yes. So so that is the, you know, the confusion around a lot of,
Rose
you
is
know,
here today.
Yay. How cool. So you know, so these are the things that we're, you know, that we're starting to see bumping up against what Neville-based manifest, sounds like a good one just came in, you know, a Neville-based teachings. And so it's you know, so, and if somebody misinterprets that and starts putting that out there like that, people think it's just another gewgaw along the way, you know, and then you talk to those people a year later, how's your man? Oh, I'm not doing that, you know. Oh, it didn't work out so good. Oh, you know, because when things don't go well, then you have to know what to do to change the situation, to change your state, or, you know, using what Neville gave us in the Neville toolbox, you know. So things like revision, or isn't it wonderful, or some of these other techniques, or re-examining self-concept, or any of these other things. This is, you know, this is also very important. So you know, so this is one of the things that I've you know, really been noticing, is this tendency to you know, that, because suddenly if you talk about manifesting, it's like it gives you more street cred or something, but it's really not about that. It's not what, you know, yes, Neville does use that idea of how will the world, you know, how do you see the world and how will the world see you? And, you know, congratulatory conversation, people envious and all that, but it's not, you know, has manifest. So I'm going to put this one out to you ladies, and whoever wants to comment in you know, who's watching today, is manifesting becoming the new processing. You know how, you know, that was the old thing from back in the day. You'd meet somebody who you knew from one spiritual group or another, and you say, hey, how's it going? And say, oh, I'm processing, man, I'm processing. So whatever it was, they're kind of like, you know, putting it, you know, dealing with it, but they call it processing. Now what are they going to say? Hey, how's it going, honey? Oh, manifesting.
That is the trend, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you know,
you've got a comment here, Val, that you nailed it. It's not about thinking about another technique, it's changing where we come from. And the Quack Pack, we're all going on a road trip.
The Quack Pack, I love it.
Did you hear? We all one, I think it was on Sunday, and Jess Lynn was doing her coffee in Neville.
Yes.
And there was a few of us, Dockery and Olivier, me, and Brian, and Jess was there for a little while. And instead of saying the word fuck, we've got from now on, you've all got to say the word quack.
Quack. Yeah.
Quackery, or
yes.
It's quackers. And
Quacking.
so us, the Quack Pack, we're all going on a road trip over the moors, apparently.
I love it. I love it. No, that's really great. So anybody else want
to interpret the manifesting there, boys?
So but it's easy to do, you know. In fact, a while back, I think it came across my Flipboard feed, and somebody had written an article, the title of which, and I'm sure you can Google this one up, is manifesting the new meditation. That was the title of the article. So anybody wants to Google it, check that out. Only because it's like, no, it's not. that's the thing. It's like, it's not the thing you turn to. If you like to meditate, that's fine. By all means, if it helps you to become quiet, yeah. And I mean, some people, like 20 has said in his videos, on the Feel It Real show, he's not that into meditation because he gets still. He knows he is God. He gets into that state. So that for a lot of people, he says you don't have to worry about trying to smash your thoughts down with a mallet.
No, that's right. Everything else outside of that's quackers. That's what
it's quackers. It's ducking quackers.
It's quacking festations.
That's right. It's a quack festation. So
a quack fest.
A quack fest. There you go. So true, meditation, you're looking more at the spaces between thoughts. I mean, it can be a very powerful, no question, but if you go for the idea of just be still and know I am God, it's that stillness, however you perceive it, takes you to what you need. It's listening, it's tuning in to get what you need. And it's going to be a little different for other people. I mean, some of Neville's, if I know you've read those experiences that he had, they were mind-blowing experiences that a lot of people may feel they'll never attain anything like that, but they might. You don't know, but it's not going to affect your ability. It doesn't mean you're a bad manifester. People have that same, in my experience, people have had that same attitude around meditation. If I don't see lights and colors and Hindu, and saints and sages from 5,000 years ago in India coming down to bless me, and angels, and I don't see those things, am I doing bad? Am I doing it wrong?
No, you need mushrooms to see that.
Yeah, well, that's right. You didn't eat the right mushrooms. Or maybe you need to eat mushrooms, But, yeah. And people would say, well, all I get is this kind of, and people would say, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. The fact that you're doing it, and that's true, don't compare. And that's the other thing that happens with manifesting, right? We see people comparing, what am I doing wrong? But there are specific things. So that you don't find you've manifested the car in your neighbor's driveway for them. You want the nice big new SUV for you, So those are things you want to watch out for. You want to go to the end. You want to live from the end. What I do feel is really cool is that a lot of people in the coaching front, in the arena space, I think we should say the coaching space, entrepreneur, they understand because they reverse engineer things. You want to understand how something works. You work back, you start at the end, so the concept of living from the end is really kind of the grander,
the bigger
impact,
picture, isn't it? Yeah.
More cosmic, grander aspect of doing all that stuff, because you understand what it is to start at the end,
And once again, you are already living in the end of something.
Yeah.
So if it's, I don't know how to manifest, you're living in the end of, I don't know how to manifest, and you are going to continue to manifest different techniques, different ways of doing it that aren't going to work, right? Because you are in that state and you are in the end of, I don't know how to do this.
Well, that's right. So it's getting comfortable with what that feels like to be able to, and notice how things show up for you. So, and know what tools you have and how to use revision or isn't it wonderful, or, things that 20 teaches about intend from a segment collapse to a point, make it simple, make it fast, those kinds of things. So it's when you understand how to do that, then you don't go around feeling like I'm manifesting, it's kind of like, no, it's not quite, it's yes, but it's not something you want to be thinking about quite like that, because then all you're thinking about is the process. You're not, where's your state? What is the state that you're embodying, So what is the end you're coming from?
So anybody that's watching, what's your take on misinterpreting manifesting? We'd love to hear your comments. Mark said something about meditation and that he really agrees with what you said about meditation, Val.
That's cool. I think for a lot of us have had, and that's also why a lot of people, you've practiced it, Lene?
All the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I used to do it all the time.
And I still do, because I like how I feel in that. It's like people like to go take a long shower, like that's their preferred, like I'm relaxing, and that's my go-to. Well, and long showers, so really both.
Of course.
And meditate in the shower. But yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, if that's, and also a lot of times things will bring you into a meditative state. Yeah. Like if you've ever like when you walk out on your beautiful, the moors, right, Michelle, what a beautiful scene that is, where you live. And where you live is always or where you go on vacation, Lene, or whatever. We find some wonderful place, and it makes you feel so quiet, and it makes you feel so expanded. But you see, we can also play that back to we're imagining we feel because of those places, but that's really coming from in us.
Right.
Hi, Cindy. Cindy said earlier, just now with my latest doll, I thought from the end, instead of bitching and grousing, I thought from the end, perfect doll, complete, perfect feet, admiring her and seeing how having others do it, not to solve the problem so much as to just enjoy this cute new doll.
Oh, that's lovely. So that's doll maker, bestower of doll life, is a state too, making perfect dolls. So things like that, and the state that Cindy's describing of what she's creating, that's a meditative or state, or it can be a meditative experience.
So meditative state really is kind of like your stats, your feeling of state akin to sleep, isn't it?
You're sad.
So you don't need to go into that meditation. This is a misinterpretation. You don't have to go into a meditation in order to manifest something. You don't have to. It's just that feeling, isn't it? That you don't have to go and sit cross-legged and for several hours. I don't know how you meditate. When I used to meditate, it was actually you look at that with the fluffy cat bum show again.
That's right. That's right. The two comma cat butt show. There we go. That's right. And if only feels
when I
good.
was meditating, it depends also on who's teaching you how to meditate, because meditation is a whole misinterpretation in itself, because some teach you to try not to think of anything. I mean, that's just stupid. It's quacking impossible. But instead, you don't zone out. You can't not possibly think of anything. And so, I mean, what do you do now, Lene, when you meditate?
Oh, I just observe my thoughts, and when I listen to meditations,
do you do guided meditations?
Yeah, I'll do guided meditations. Sometimes what I do, I love this because I love thunderstorms. So on YouTube, if you type in thunder and lightning, it'll be like an 8-hour thing. Just listening to the rain and the thunder and lightning puts me in this like such a stillness. Like I can be working and doing something, but I'm in such a calm place, and I I enjoy that, but I'm more observant of what's going on. It's that stillness, but it causes me to shut the fuck up and listen to
It's
whatever
the
it
state
is.
of stillness within you, yeah?
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, so many things come up that my brain is doing this all day that I don't notice. It's able to slow that down. Aha, I see. Yes, I hear this now. I see you, you stupid fucking thought. Now I know why I was going down that. But yeah, like I enjoy that, and I just different types out there.
Well, that's beautiful. Rose has she's done her second one, I think, her 8-hour guided meditation. Mm-hmm. And, which I've even played in the daytime, which is kind of fun, is a different kind of experience. But play it at night, by all means, and which is the intention. But, the state akin to sleep, it sounds like a little elusive kind of term, but it's really getting relaxed.
Yeah,
for most of us, right?
Exactly.
And you just
still.
Yeah.
It's the first principle, being still, knowing that you're God.
Right. And yeah, for a lot of people it takes time to get really still, but you can just some people kind of feel if they get too still, then they fall asleep. They zone out so complete, which is a natural tendency, but you can get in enough time in between. There is a little kind of an in-betweeny state between sleep and waking, and then maybe that is what that is. It's in some of the Eastern texts, it's a particular state. And I'm thinking, when I saw Neville, it came to me that maybe that's what Neville means, is that little in between. It's not sleep, but he doesn't talk about his meditation. It's
your theta state. You have alpha,
right,
beta,
and theta.
Delta. Delta is like asleep, and alpha is, I don't remember what alpha was.
Well, either way, you have the thinking mind.
Yeah. And then theta is where you're just like in that in between. You're not asleep, you're not awake, but it's like that perfect. And that's that calm. That's that calm before you're asleep thing. And that's where you play those things out that you desire.
Yeah. Now maybe you've heard of, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just saying you play out an imaginal scene in this specifically to whatever your goal is.
That's right. And if that can also facilitate what Neville, the kind of prayer that Neville refers to, not the same as prayer where you're asking, begging, pleading, bargaining, but but receiving. Now, interestingly, there is a yoga practice that a lot of people, that some teachers specialize in or add to their teaching practice, called Yoga Nidra. It's very well known. Many yoga studios around the world teach this. It's yoga, Nidra. And you get really relaxed, and the teacher guides. So it's like lying down, guided meditation, and it's designed to facilitate change on a deep level.
Yeah.
So if there's something you want to bring into your life, or a quality you want to start to change in your life, or get better at something, let go of something. So but if you're thinking of it, oh, I did that because of the Yoga Nidra, then you're looking at it as a secondary cause. So you have to kind of see that it's really not the Yoga Nidra, but it's you that is using that tool to make that change. But the idea is it is like, in a sense, maybe that's a variation or another way of saying state akin to sleep, because you do get into a very relaxed mode.
Yep.
So, but if you're thinking until you get in that state, and then you think of, the scene you want, or, that you're going to go to sleep that night, or you're waking up the next morning, that's the way, 20 and Anya, our manifesting queen, Anya, before you start your day, you in that relaxed she did a post recently, a wonderful post about that, how she gets it all together, imagines how great the day is going to go in these certain areas for her. And then she starts her day. So you started your day knowing it's already by the end of the day.
Yeah. I put up a post in Law of Attraction last week, I think, end of last week. And in the morning I woke up and before doing anything, I imagined giggling to myself about the wins I'd got that day. Like I'd got in bed and I was giggling to myself, going, "God, I didn't even think it would turn out that way."
Wow.
And laughing to myself. And actually, so many things fell in place for me on Friday. Like, when you send it out there and I didn't intend for those to have manifested that day. I never knew when they were going to turn up, but actually it was what I did in the morning, knowing that I was getting in bed and giggling to myself about how many wins I'd got. And actually a few of the things that I'd previously imagined up, it all came on that Friday.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it was, and I was giggling to myself, going, "Well, I really can't believe it. I didn't expect it to show up like that."
But isn't it nice when you start to laugh and giggle and you just feel so bubbly?
Yeah.
Right? It's such a great sensation that all those things that you were after, that they happen, and whether they're little things, big things, but they showed up. Just the way you wanted them to. So that is manifesting, because you were in this, whatever the state was that you needed to be in to bring those in, then they all happen. You can't say, well, it's a particular timeline, but they all showed up on the right day. And on a Friday too. That's a nice way to start the weekend.
The Friday.
The Friday. That's a real Friday. Yeah.
Anyway, we're kind of at the end of our time right now. I just wanted to ask everybody that's watching if they have a question that they would like us to answer, because we're planning a Q&A session. If they've got any questions, then they can put them in the comments and we will answer them on our Q&A session that we'll be doing soon. We've got a couple of emails from people that we're going to be answering as well. And also, if you are looking, if you are wondering about how to live in your end, then if you go to the Neville Goddard Summit store at nevillegoddardsummit.com/store, you will see in there that we have our transcripts from 2 of our YouTube videos that we did specifically on living in the end, because it's such to us it's one of the keys to manifesting. You have to live in the end, and they are for sale at the moment in the Neville Goddard Summit store, so go take a look.
And watch out pretty soon for our course on banishing money anxieties, based on our talk at the summit. So that's going to be coming your way pretty soon. And stay tuned for more as we go. So again, Michelle, do you want to say where they can find us? Just a reminder, or
you can find us. Well, you can't escape from us. We are on YouTube, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on TikTok. And we are currentently setting up our website, which will be 2coffeeclub.com.
And you can write us anytime at 2coffeeclub@gmail.com.
Yes. That's it. Yes. All right, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
See you again soon.
Can you make me a cheese toasty?